My name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we've got a latest update on house asking prices. It's not looking as good as it was last month, and this could be an early indicator on where house prices are expected to go over the next few months. So I'm going to talk about which areas are struggling at the moment. There's a few major areas that are really struggling to get decent asking prices now. How does this compare to last year? Is this better or worse? We've also got an update in this video on how many new listings we've got and how many buyers we've got to match up with that as well. So if you're new around here and you haven't watched the channel before, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We're on the way to 44,000 subscribers. And by subscribing, you're going to get all the latest property news, house prices, interest rates, all the inflation data that you need to know. And we'll give you property investing tips as well. And let's get some more views on this video. How do we do that? Smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that's really helped the channel grow so far. So thank you to everybody that does that. So, RightMove Data. This is interesting when we do these RightMove monthly updates, because when they're positive, people say, nah, load of rubbish. That data is not useful to anybody. But when they're negative, I notice the comments agree with RightMove a lot more, and they talk like we're going to have an absolute crash in house prices at any minute. Now, I believe the RightMove data is important, and that's because it's giving us our early indicator on what's happening in the market. Now, these are asking prices, so this gives you the market sentiment. In 2008, 2009, 2010, where the market really struggled and it was a really slow market, you'd have seen that in the data. People would have come to the market if they were selling the house and they were serious about it and they needed to sell it. They would have undercut everybody else in order to get the viewings and to get the sales. And that's what we've got to look at in this type of data. And so RightMove's data is valid. It is important. And yes, they have an agenda. They want to keep the market going. But what you've also got to understand is they get paid regardless of whether a house sells or not. You see, to get your property listed on RightMove, an estate agent pays a lofty sum to RightMove. It's £700 to £1,000, depending on the size of your branch and how many properties you're listing. So they get paid that regardless of whether the market's busy or slow. So what are they saying is happening this month? Well, they are saying that in June, asking prices are down 0.3% so far. So that is not insignificant. If you carried that on for the rest of the year, that's going to be a fairly big chunk off asking prices. So just in a month, that is considerable. Now, why is this also something that we should look at, especially in June? Because June historically is a good month, especially for estate agents. It's sunny, people want to move, they're excited about what's going on in the market, and often you get a lot of listings in the spring, and so at this point you start getting people now viewing and taking those deals forward. So on a normal basis in June, you would see 0.4% would be the normal increase in asking prices. So we're 0.7% difference this month, aren't we? And that shows that the market is slowing down somewhat. Now, last month, the data was really strong, and that surprised a lot of people. So the May data, we were 0.6% up, which is significant. So it's interesting to see this is a big flip in that downwards momentum. So what is the average asking price at the moment? So the average asking price at the moment is £378,246. Now, these averages on RightMove are way higher, you'll notice, than the average sold price. And that's because there are lots of big chunky properties listed on RightMove that don't sell. For example, if you search in central London, which I do every now and again, I look at what's the most expensive property you can get in the UK. You can get apartments for 80 million, but they don't sell. They sit there for years and years and years, and some of them have been on there 10 years and still not sold. And there's still a massive lot of properties on there for 10 million, 20 million pounds that just don't sell. So they bring the average up. This is asking prices, remember. The sold data is different, but the fact is, it is down. And so that's what we've got to keep an eye on. And this, as I said, is an early indicator on where market sentiment might go. Now, the north of England is doing okay. The south, not so great. So let's give us the data that they've given us on the worst free performing areas. The southwest of England is down, asking prices, in just 1 month, 1.6%. Now that is a lot. And that's been because what's happening in the southwest is some of the local councils are charging you extra council tax if it's a second home. You can get extra tax and problems if your property is empty as well. And so that means a lot of people are selling. They maybe ran those as Airbnbs, or they just had it as their second home and they went there on the weekends from London or somewhere similar. So that is a big drop. And the southwest is an area in England that is really, really struggling with house prices at the moment, and sales as well. There's a lot of people looking to leave that area. What else have we got? We've got the southeast. House asking prices are down there as well, 1%. And so that's a big chunk as well in a month. That's crazy, right? So asking prices are down in the southeast. That's where a lot of my property portfolio sits. 1% is not going to make me not sleep at night, but it's definitely something that I want to keep an eye on. And so if we keep seeing those big drops, 1% a month, that could be a significant drop in asking prices by the end of this year, because remember that compounds. So what else is going on? London is also performing badly at the moment. So London asking prices are down just this month, 0.9%. Remember, that's on top of data that we've already shared on this channel, where central London, Kensington, Belgravia, Chelsea, those sorts of areas, some of them over the last 2 years have had a crash in house prices that have sold by as much as 29%. You've got a lot of billionaires and millionaires leaving the country, and because of that, those prices, those houses aren't selling, and people are having to sell at massive discounts in order to just get those sales done. So look, RightMove data, I feel, is useful. I always want to know what's going on with this stuff because it shows us what is going on with the market sentiment. This is where you're going to see the declines first before you see them in house prices. Now, this could lead, just this data here, could lead to the fact that we could see asking sold prices dropping in around 3 to 6 months, because it takes a while for these to actually get sold. They also gave us some data as well on listings. And so the market year on year is actually up with more buyers. There are 3% more buyers at the moment in the market, which is good. I mean, that's good because we need some transactions done. So that's positive, but sellers is also up. And this doesn't match this data. So year on year, there are 11% more properties for sale in June compared to last year. That means that potentially it is a buyer's market because there's not enough buyers coming in to meet the demand of those properties listed. So we'll see how that matches up. It could mean you could start seeing sold prices drop over the next coming months. What do you think? Do you think this is just a blip after a very strong May with asking prices? Or do you think this is a sign that we're going to continue to see asking prices drop? Let me know in the comments. Do make sure you smash like, do subscribe, check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.